we're looking at 2 million coins under every position. Now, the question is there a certain player that you want, or you've managed to get? Flex out your best players in your team. What's the price tag? What did you get him at? Let me know down below. Keepers. Very easy. I say it every time. We don't go through them too much, especially when you go over about the 300 price mark. There's just 0 point in them. When you look at the likes of Van der Sar, he's nearly 400. Czech's got like a 400 SBC. Casillas is about 400. And all of the team of the seasons are about 50,000 coins. So you're absolutely fine. Even the team of the year now is at about 280. Whether we see any Euro keepers, any Copa America keepers, I don't know. To be fair, Schmeichel hasn't had an upgrade yet, so maybe a Danish Euros. I don't even know if they're in the Euros, to be honest. But no, of course they are. Could we get one of them? That's going to be the big question there. And do we see, over the next couple of promos towards the end, a Playstyle Plus for a goalkeeper? Donnarumma let us down with not getting into that final because he would have actually got one. Whether they'd have just given him long ball pass instead, who knows? But I personally, my favourite is always going to be Van der Sar. I'd then go kind of a team of the season I quite like. Donnarumma's always a great option. I've got good regards for Alisson always. Kobel wasn't terrible. I'm on the fence with Szczesny and Summer. They do well. Czech and obviously Casillas being icons are always a fan favourite. At the minute, I've got Casillas in there because, to be honest, I just go with the untradeable. Whatever my best keeper is, at the minute, I've gone with Casillas. I got pretty much all of the team of the season ones. It's just bothering to change them, to be honest. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Now, in terms of fullbacks, to be fair, there isn't that many. The budget that we're looking between is between about 800,000 and 2 million coins. Because what I try and do is every week we'll do a cater for everybody. A low budget, a high budget, and a medium budget. So we'll look at something between 0 and say 250k. We'll then do say 250k to about 800 give or take, and then 800 up until the max. Normally I try and say 2 mil. 2 mil to 2.5 might be the most. Just because, especially now the market's dropping a little bit, you can obviously see that when we look at Teo, he's now coming in at 1.1. Arguably the best left back you can get. There'd be no point going way too much because really all we're doing is looking at strikers then. So I might as well do that in the best meta strikers. We can look at the 3, 4, 5 million coin strikers as well. So obviously we will focus more towards the kind of low end budget, the medium budget as much as possible. High end budget is kind of just fading away and eventually it will fade because everyone will have everybody. Frimpong, 1 million coins as well. Literally 2 mil between them. Absolutely brilliant. And I believe, I'm pretty sure both of them are in the ultimate, but just in case they're not, Frimpong, Teo, they are both in there. The big thing with both of them now, especially today, I want to say it is, we should be getting the ultimate team of the season guaranteed. I pray they don't change it like they have done in previous years, that it's any team of the season. Unless it's repeatable, and it's repeatable for like the remainder until Friday, then I'm all fine for that. But it would be nice to get a guaranteed ultimate team of the season, as realistically then, we are looking at a pretty decent team of the season. Like if we go over, you're obviously looking in terms of the main team. I think I'd be pretty happy with everybody. Rice I've personally already got. I think it's not a bad, like he's a really good card, but he's not necessarily one I'd want out of this. Kane I'd be half and half because the budgets that you've got there. As you go further down though, it does get a little bit more disappointing. Like I'd be happy with James. I'll say who I'm not. I've got Chawinga, so I wouldn't be happy, but she's a very good card still. Hemp I wouldn't be happy with. To be fair, even Lewandowski at 100k. I think anybody over like the 300k mark, maybe just above Musiala, I'd be semi-happy with unless I've got them. Everybody else, like, you've still got a lot that you can get that are really not up there. Like Di Maria, Stanway, Koulibaly, Schlotterbeck, Ouderweald, even Mahrez at 30,000 now. There's still a lot. It's back as 43k. That's impressive. I didn't think she'd drop that much. But that is kind of where we're at with the ultimate guaranteed. We also have 2 icons in here, and I can imagine we will get a healthy budget increased with the Path to Glory icons and also the Path to Glories to start with, because they are going to be very not packable, but then also they are going to be high rated as well with the increase. And I've heard they're 4 playstyle pluses, so that's going to be a new wave of progression again. But in terms of fullbacks, Frimpong and Teo are obviously going to be my fan favourite. To be fair, if you are looking at the Team of the Year Teo, at this point, I'd probably just pay the extra 200. 1.1 to 900 is really not that much. Did that just go? It was 900 there, wasn't it? Did these all upgrade automatically, or do I? It did say 900, didn't it? But then we look at Carlos Alberto, phenomenal centre-back or right-back, either or you want to go with, and Carfu is just the same as well. But it will be interesting to finally get icons that have got that triple playstyle plus at the minimum. Now we have got a good amount of centre-backs, which is always nice. Some very, very top end. When you're looking at the lower budget here, Varane comes to mind at just under, well, just bang on 800, and Company just over 830. They are still very good. Like, you could still get away with them, even though I think it's very hard to kind of go from the triple playstyle pluses, like literally so many of them, even the low end budget of them are very good. So why would you pay the 800? So they are kind of half and half. At least with Company, you can get him in a hero pick and still a very good option if you do manage to get him. Whereas I think with Varane, personally, I have the Evolution 90. So that's already going to be like, well, what's the point me buying him? If I can evolve him at some point, I think you can evolve him again, so you can make him even higher, and eventually he might even get a Euros card. Whether he does or not, I don't even know if they're actually taking him. I don't think they are, so it will be interesting regardless. But then we look at the really high budget. You're looking at a Rio Ferdinand SBC, you're looking at Bisek, Diaz, Ramos, Maldini, Bastoni. Now, favourites out of them, Ramos has been incredible. I loved him in his ice version for the CDM. He's got a wicked body type for that, but then the centre-back is just as good. If you know Ramos and you've played this game for a long time, like we're talking back in FIFA 13, 14 days, he was incredible. Like Ramos, even at the start, to be fair, I think FIFA 10, he was the right back still. Unbelievable. The Spanish back line of Puyol, Piqué, Ramos, Juan Fran, and then Jordi Alba eventually came into it, and Marcelo was there. It was just a beautiful lineup. Whereas Ramos has always been, he's been key. Since he moved into that centre-back, he's just made that role his own. When we look at Diaz, though, still 1 million coins as a Team of the Year. No, he wasn't my favourite. I must admit, I did like Renard. Virgil was obviously top of the top. But Diaz definitely goes under the radar here, and I'm expecting a Euros card from him. The fact that he didn't get a Team of the Season or any SBC, any moments, more than likely means we will see a Portuguese Path to Glory maybe for him. It would be a great shout for him. It's a good centre-back. They kind of tick off their player list as well, because everybody's going to be looking at names for the forwards, but that's a big name to have in the back line. So come back when he is in the Path to Glories. Bisek and obviously Bastoni, the 2 Inter boys, absolutely rocking it. I think that pairing is absolutely elite level. Like, Bisek is now up at 980. He was like 4 to 500 at one point. You could still get him up to a 94 as well. I know you technically lose the Team of the Season design, which just is what it is, but just look at him. And if you did have him in a red, then even better, because you can get him up to 96. You could have 96 red Bisek and 96 Bastoni as well. It's a beautiful pairing. Then the icons in Rio and Maldini, still absolutely top. Like, Rio was, I knew from the first game of him in the Team of the Year that he was going to stay for a while. I didn't think he'd make it all the way through the Team of the Season, but now we're coming into the end. I would love another upgrade for him, because a triple playstyle plus Rio with them playstyle pluses, added something like an aerial, get the stats up, look at a 95, 96, that's going to be absolutely outstanding. And Maldini's Maldini, he's always incredible. So I wanted to move the midfield, so it was like CDMs, centre mids, cams, but to be fair, because of the rating of all of them, they just all have top-end stats across the board. Like, yes, The cams are probably the only ones that you could kind of identify more. Like, I know full well that Zico's not going to play a box-to-box as well as a Goretzka because the stats don't line up. Same with Socrates. To be fair, anybody under the team of the season. Bruno still has 81 defending, which really isn't bad. Wirtz kind of shows his colours there, 66 defending. He's not really going to do that role. But everybody else is phenomenal. Now, I kind of have Hullet in here because I really want to do him, but I just can't I don't want to pay the 900. Like when I think we talked about it yesterday with the CDMs, Hullet with that 94 is nuts. Like a 94 Hullet, you pay 900k. He is extinct, so I don't know how easily you'll get him on the market, but that's a stunning card that you can get. So he is definitely up there now. He's 900k technically. I don't know why they're saying 888, but he will be extinct, and whether we see him on the market is going to be the big question, really. You might have to snipe him pretty hard. Royce obviously here with the 890 in terms of price. I like the upgrade, and I think you've got a long time to get him done, so it's not necessarily the worst SBC. I kind of just wish they waited. I think that's my kind of stand on a lot of the end of eras. I get that they wanted to fill this week with content, but we have the Euros coming out. Apparently, we're getting the Euro mode tomorrow. Friday's going to be the Path to Glory start. For the 3 days that they did end of eras flashbacks, I'd have much rather just had the flashbacks and left the end of eras for the end of the game. Give them the quadruple playstyle plus. Give them the 98. At least then it would be a card that we remember, like a 96 Royce. When we get to Path to the Glories, is just not going to be anything. Like the stats are always going to be up there, but he's not going to have the quadruple. So he's already taken out by a 98, a 99 Kevin De Bruyne, a 98 Wirtz, Musiala, whatever they decide to do. That's going to be completely gone. So at least then at the end of era, like they did with the cover stars, that was phenomenal. We got 99s, 98s everywhere, and they were the best of the best. Now I get you probably didn't play loads of games with the final cover star, and that's to be expected, but you still have that memory of it. So I just think with a 96, especially just the plus ones, I think it was a bit of it was too quick. I think it was really too quick. To say that Cruz hasn't got it yet, why not leave Royce yet? It just makes no sense. Schneider, Zico, Socrates, all going to be incredible cams for you. My personal favourite there is Schneider. I think he is highly underrated in terms of what he can do. The dribbling on him is phenomenal, and all of them have got some exceptional amounts of dribbling, but Schneider being that 5'7" cam is just, he glides. He is literally like a Messi. I think the height has a massive advantage on him. He's already the 5'5" like all three of them, but just the movement on him is beautiful, whereas Socrates is a little bit taller at 6'4". Zico's kind of in the middle, I believe. I want to say he was about 5'10", but we don't actually have the record on here. And to be fair, I could probably Google it, but it probably isn't going to be right on FIFA anyway. In terms of Zico, that's not Zico. We got footballer height. He's coming in at 1.72 meters. Now, I don't know what that is. 72 meters is 5'6". There's no way. Could he be? He might be. Let me know in the comments if you've got him. Check the height on the actual game. I don't have him at the moment, so I won't be able to tell you, but that's mental. I didn't think he was that small. He feels, or he looks a bit taller than that, but he could be. He most definitely could be. Cruz, obviously coming in now with the 94, the 5'5", the triple playstyle plus, waiting now for the end of era, and that's the only problem with this card now. Now we know it's an end of an era for him, because we didn't know that with this card. If you've got him, then I would have probably tried to sell out of him, just purely on the fact that we know we're going to get an SBC for him. So that's not this card's fault. They didn't know he was retiring when it came out. So it's kind of just that dead point card that's going to absolutely drop once we end up with that 97, 98 Cruz. Hopefully they give him a 99 by the end. It'd be a great way to see the card off anyway. Then we move into the team. Now, we've got a few icons. Obviously, Hullet's always in here. He's got to be. 1.3 mil still on the Centurions. I'd probably be looking at, if you're going to pay for him and you're not too fussed about technically losing the coins, I'd probably go for the 90 and get that upgrade, because you can get a 94 for technically 1 million. I know you technically lose the million, but if you're going to buy the Hullet for 1.3 and then not sell him, he's going to drop down anyway. So I might as well get a higher rated card for it. Zidane's still very relevant. I can't believe his his 95 is still 1.3 mil? Did I just see 1.4 mil? And his 96 is coming in at 3 million bang on. I mean, he's still a very relevant card. He's a 5/5. He's got everything you need. And I'm praying with that, the Euro icon card. It's the greats of the game or something like that they're called. I know they're not specifically Euros because we're getting Copa America at the same time. That would look unbelievable. I hope they give every French icon one because it looks incredible with them. It's got the colours in the back. It's a beautiful card design. So I'm praying Zidane gets one because with the right dynamic, that will look cold. Pirlo, on the other hand, the SBC is 2.5, but he's actually coming in at about 1.7, 1.8, I believe. 1.66. So he's a lot cheaper than that SBC. So I always kind of assume the SBC was a little bit wrong, especially when he's a million coins under now. I just think they could have made that SBC a bit cheaper in my opinion. Matthias, always up there at 1.7. Very, very good box to box. Yeah, there's no arguments with him, to be honest. The SBC is still expensive, but it's to be expected with Matthias. I think his in-games is a lot better than Pirlo's. Even though Pirlo had an incredible glow-up with this Ultimate Birthday, I just think Matthias, personally, is a bit better. Then we have the rest of the team of the seasons. Now, the fan favourites for me, I always love Putellas. She's been incredible. Very biased because I've had her from a team of the year and then got a moment. She's incredible going forward. Bonmati's always been the cheaper option, yet she's always been a bit more expensive, whereas Putellas just absolutely battles for the badge. Vitinha, Goretzka, incredible box to boxes. I think they work just immensely. I would say that Vitinha seems to be the ball carrier pushing forward, where Goretzka definitely is better at that defensive duty at the same time. Even though his shooting is phenomenal, he hasn't necessarily got the shooting play style plus, so I would be using him. If I got both of them, happy days. Vitinha and Goretzka can push the ball up, but Vitinha is going to be the shooter. Goretzka is going to be the absolute anchor going back and defending as well. So it is a beautiful partnership if you can. It's a shame he didn't get the 5/5, but to be fair, Goretzka absolutely pulls through. Emery, pretty much on that same sort of vibe, but I'd put him more towards the Vitinha era. He's very good at the defensive role, but I like him pushing forward as well. He's just got that ability to get forward and get that pass off is always very, very nice. We then have the cams of the world, Wirtz, De Bruyne, Bruno. Now, they all are as expensive as you imagine. You got 1 million, you got 1.1, and you got 1.4. Now, De Bruyne is definitely the better passer of the game. Obviously, with the 99, he's kind of the Busquets of our era, just because he's got 99 as well. But in terms of the kind of pace, that's where I think Bruno and KDB is not necessarily let down, because I do think they still manage to push forward. It's not as if they're as slow as anything, they can't get it past anybody. But definitely with the Wirtz, the Musiala of the world, they do feel a little bit quicker. Half of them always have the technical anyway. I know Bruno does. KDB's just a passer. He's got the triple passing play style plus as well, which is always nice. I know Busquets has the tiki-taka rather than the pinged pass, I want to say, but they have the incisive as well, which always lets them be that just creator of the ball. So I think if I was looking at favourites, if I was picking a free midfield, I'd probably go Goretzka. I think you'd have to choose between Hullet and Matthias. I think you have to. You have to have that anchor in the midfield that's just so tall it's unbelievable. So I personally would go with Hullet. Matthias is definitely not that bad of a shout underneath. And I would then go Goretzka, Hullet. If I was going more cam, where would I go? Because I do like Putellas, but I think Vitinha does kind of just take it over for me. So let me know your midfield as well. Now, there's actually a decent amount of left wings here, to be fair. I thought there would be literally none, so I was going to put the left and right wings together, but actually, there's a good amount of both. So in terms of left wing, we're looking at kind of the generation just gone, Ronaldinho. We're looking at the inform Mbappe, the team of the group stage. We've got a team of the year honourable Vinny, who's relatively cheap for Vinny. We'll kind of get to him. Then we have the new stock. We have Doku, we have Felix, we have Leao. Now, Leao could be argued towards a striker as well. I wouldn't be mad. I think, to be honest, he probably could be better as a striker. I think he's that big old unit. He's great with his strength. He's great with his shooting. And the dribbling is absolutely outstanding. But If you've already got a striker that's absolutely top form and they can't play left wing, for instance, if it's not an Mbappe, then you are probably better putting him off as a left wing and just getting him inside. He is brilliant in this game. One of my favourite kind of Serie A players in the team of the season. He's just magical. Him and Martinez together are brilliant up front. Ronaldinho and Vinny, both very similar. I think Vinny, in this version specifically, is getting there. He's definitely a nice card. He's going down the wing. He doesn't, unfortunately, hold a candle to his team of the year. His team of the season. His team of the season is outstanding. But that's still coming in at 2.7 mil. So that's to be expected as well. We're looking at 860. If you are looking at a Vinny card, it's a very good card to have. Now, we did have the ability for a 91 player of the month. I just think that came out too late. And it's not their problem. It's when the player of the months happen. Whether he got it on the first month or the last month, they can't actually control that. So unfortunately, he did get it right before team of the season. Unfortunately, that was too late, knowing that he's going to get a big upgrade for team of the season as well. The 91 it would have been overshadowed by now. He's a 91. There's so many left wings out there that you'd either just save your fodder for them, or you'd end up packing somebody that goes over him anyway. Mbappe still at 1.3 for an inform and 2 million bang on for the team of the group stage is incredible. He'll always be meta as anything. You could get away with still using the gold. If you've not packed a striker that you either want or a striker that necessarily enhances anything, you would still be able to use the gold Mbappe. It's coming in at 300,000 coins still. He will still be incredible. That's just his body type. It's his uniqueness, his skill move, his weak foot, his pace, his dribbling, his shooting. Everything points towards an Mbappe. Ronaldo and Messi were exactly the same for years. Mbappe is going to be the same. It's like the Virgil in defense, Conte in the CDM. There's just meta players that can just continue through. Now, Doku with the Rapid Plus Power Shot Whipped pass isn't a bad option. I like that playstyle plus. The 5-4, very nice. Great acceleration and sprint speed. Finishing's going up. You can obviously go with a different chem style like a Deadeye, and it works perfect. But an incredible player that potentially could have a nice upgrade for next year. I don't know whether he goes up massively. I think he's definitely done himself a service. Like, he was a 77. I don't see him going up into the 87s by any shout, so maybe we see an 84 in him. I think that's a good jump still from 77. 83 would be more where I'd be looking, but I think you could get away with an 84 with him, potentially. And then Felix. Felix is, I love his upgrades. His team of the season, we just got a showdown before team of the season as well that was very good, but I love Felix in this. Griezmann, Felix are just, and Dybala, they're kind of my favourites when it comes to a team of the season upgrade. They always look good, they've always got the great stats, and they absolutely work the midfield easily, and striking force. Now going from that to this with the right wing. We got 4 cards. So the right wing, as you can imagine, is... It's funny because I could probably think of a lot of names for a right wing, and yet whenever you get to the top end or you pick a specific budget, there's just not enough names. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, the right wing should be incredible. Normally, it was always the right wing is better than the left wing. It tended to be anyway. And the 4 names here are absolutely incredible, so it's not as if their names are not worth of a mention. Hansen obviously has a higher version, but 1.7 for a team of the year. She is outstanding. We love the gold. We love the inform. What else did she get? She got another one, didn't she? Did she get a Trailblazer as well? She did. So an absolute complete machine when it comes to going forward. Salah, Saka, they've been in the battle of the right wings for a year probably now, maybe the last 2 years, but they both are incredible. I must admit, Salah does come on top in a lot of it just because I think Saka's very good at getting down the wing and he's got a decent amount of play styles, but when it comes to the upgrade, it just doesn't seem to fit the right stats. And it's weird to say because stats-wise he looks good, but it is just body type with him. I don't know, he doesn't... I'd always go Salah. That's the problem with him. And I don't know if that is just the fact that Salah's name does carry more weight or you just kind of think that. And to be fair, I think the big thing for me would be the left foot Conan on the cut inside. They both have that finesse, which is perfect. Salah just does it better. And that's really all it comes down to. And Jarzinho, it was a great upgrade. Love the Galazzo. Still 1.9. I think that's really coming in the fact that the supply was just not enough. Like it felt like he was impossible to get. Everybody else was easy to get. Cruyff even seemed quite easy to get, yet Jairzinho just was nowhere. Now we have the strikers. Now we've got another Mbappe in there because you just got to throw him in there. With the other two, they were specifically left wing as well orientated. Even though every Mbappe can go left wing, most of them can go striker as well, if not all of them. I think all of them can. But in terms of Mbappe, like I said, he's always going to be very relevant. Neymar striker. Now, I don't think we can even go towards a Neymar budget. I don't know what he's actually coming in at now. He is dropped to 8.2, so he's affordable-ish, not really. But we can get the 93 still. If you wanted a Neymar, you can get him. His base version, very cheap. May not give you the greatest upgrade, to be honest. But if you are desperate to get a Neymar, you obviously have got that version. You've got the Thunderstruck, which is a 92. That's coming in at 612. So a decent budget at the very minimum. And I could imagine at some point we will get Neymar at an absolute cheap rate. And that's going to be when we kind of just pounce on him. Hopefully a 99 footers. Then also we do have the likes of Eusebio, we have Puskás, Pele, Stoichkov as an SBC, it's coming under 2 mil, don't worry, and then Cruyff in the Thunderstruck with 1.9. All of them in their own right are phenomenal icons. They are always the top of the top, bar from maybe Stoichkov, because he is purely down to the card that's released. Puskás, Pele, Cruyff, Eusebio, their base mid-prime was always the topic in icons. R9's thrown in there. Ham this year is definitely thrown in there. But then you kind of have to have like the Butra 5.5 in the absolute top. You have the Stoichkov there. Dalglish normally throws himself in the hat at some point. And then even someone like an Eto'o with an upgrade eventually if we get the upgrade. So Stoichkov is kind of there purely on the big upgrade that we got for a striker. The 5.5, the Playstyle Plus. The icons now need the upgrade, so I cannot wait to get to Friday to get them Path to Glories, because triple play stopless icons are going to take over once more. And then finally we have got a Messi. It is the only 5.5 Messi. I'm pretty sure. Did he get the 5.4 on his... He didn't get it on his team of the year. Did he get on his team of the season? He didn't. So he is the only 5.5 Messi you can get. 94 rated at the moment. Because more than likely, we will see an upgrade for that. But he's still brilliant no matter what. I even think his 90 is still very good. In terms of the dribbling, he's like Schneider. He's a little bit on the smaller side. Like he's 5.7 as well. The agility balance is perfect. He just walks through teams. He scores easily. He's got the finesse, the technical, the dribbling, the 5.5. He's just Messi. It is just what it is. And that's going to be everybody under the 2 mil to 800k budget. Let me know down below if there's anybody there that you either want or have and you want to flex. Peace.